This is the story of a man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. Not once. Twice. And the strangest part is that the same tricks he used in 1925 are still scamming millions of people today. If you think you'd never fall for something like that, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll realize you already have. And the people running these modern scams are counting on that confidence to keep stealing money from victims every single day. So before you scroll, before you assume you're too smart for this, listen to how a con man pulled off one of the most impossible crimes in history and how the exact blueprint is still fooling people today. Our story begins in Paris. The year is 1925. The Eiffel Tower is rusting, expensive to maintain, and constantly criticized in newspapers. One article even claimed the government couldn't afford the repairs, and that tiny detail was all Victor Lustig needed. Lustig wasn't a petty thief. He was a mastermind, a charming, intelligent, perfectly polite criminal who believed every scam needed two things: the right victim and the right moment. And in 1925, the moment had arrived. He forged government stationery, invented a fake committee, and invited the biggest scrap metal dealers in France to a private meeting at the luxurious Hotel de... Imagine receiving a confidential letter saying the French government had decided to quietly sell the Eiffel Tower for scrap because public outrage would be too big if the news leaked. You're sitting in a gold-trimmed room surrounded by other powerful businessmen, and a confident, well-dressed government official is explaining that the tower will be dismantled, that only one buyer will be chosen, and that whoever gets the contract will become rich beyond imagination. That is exactly how Lustig set the stage. But here's the genius part. He didn't pressure anyone. He acted embarrassed, nervous, like a civil servant who didn't want this job. That behavior made the men trust him even more, and it allowed him to identify his target. A scrap dealer named Andre Poison wanted status, respect, recognition. He wanted to become someone important. Lustig sensed that weakness instantly, and that's when he used the same tactic scammers still use today: the confidence hook. It works like this: make the victim feel like they're being chosen for something exclusive, something that will make them special, something almost too good to be true, but just believable enough to chase. Romance scammers use it. Crypto fraud uses it. Job scams use it. And Lustig perfected it 100 years ago. Poison believed every word. He paid a massive bribe to secure the contract, plus the full payment for the Eiffel Tower itself. Lustig took the money, boarded a train to Vienna, and disappeared. When Poison finally realized he had been scammed, he didn't call the police. He was too ashamed. He didn't want anyone to know. He fell for it. And this silence, this fear of looking foolish, is exactly why scams still work today. People don't report. They don't warn others. They stay quiet, and that silence allows scammers to repeat the same crime again and again, which is exactly what Lustig did. A few months later, he returned to Paris and attempted to sell the Eiffel Tower a second time, following the exact same playbook. The same letters, the same presentation, the same fake authority, the same psychological manipulation. And if police hadn't caught wind of his presence, he would have succeeded again. Think about that. The same scam in the same city, using the same documents, to fool an entirely new group of victims. It worked once because people trusted authority. It almost worked twice for the same reason. And that identical trust is what scammers exploit now, a century later. Because today, the Eiffel Tower scam didn't disappear. It evolved. Instead of forged government letters, scammers send emails that look like banks, WhatsApp messages that look like job offers, or investment dashboards that look like official platforms. Instead of a fake committee in a luxury hotel, they create deep-fake CEOs on video calls. Instead of a forged signature, they use AI-generated documents. But the psychology is unchanged. Make the victim feel chosen. Make the opportunity feel secret. Make the reward feel life-changing. And get them emotionally invested before they have time to think logically. And here is where most people get trapped. They believe scams happen because victims are stupid. But Lustig never targeted stupid people. He targeted normal people with very human weaknesses: ambition, insecurity, trust, hope, fear of missing out, desire to impress others. Those same emotions drive modern victims straight into crypto rug pulls, VIP betting groups, fake job interviews, and AI romance scams. Scammers don't need your ignorance. They just need your confidence. Lustig had another rule that scammers still follow today. Always give the victim just enough social proof to lower their guard. He rented expensive cars, wore perfect suits, stayed in luxury hotels. Today's scammers mimic legitimacy with websites, fake reviews, staged testimonials, edited screenshots, and AI faces that look more trustworthy than real people. And every time someone believes it, the scam becomes stronger. So what can we learn from the man who sold the Eiffel Tower? That the most dangerous scams don't look like scams. They look like opportunities. They look like success. They look like someone finally giving you the chance you deserve. And that is why these frauds from 1925 still trick millions today. The technology changes, the scam stays the same. And if you're thinking, I'd never fall for that, congratulations, you're the perfect target, because the only people who never get scammed are the ones who understand how scams work, not the ones who think they're too smart to be fooled. Before we wrap this story, here's something you should know. Scammers love people who don't stay informed. If you're watching this far, you're already one step ahead of the average victim. And if you want to avoid becoming the next headline, you should subscribe right now, because we're exposing one scam after another on this channel. The more you understand the tactics, the harder it becomes for anyone to manipulate you. And trust me, the scams happening today make the 1925 Eiffel Tower scheme look like amateur hour. So here is the final twist. Victor Lustig didn't get caught because of the Eiffel Tower scam. He got caught because he ran too many scams at the same time, including counterfeiting operations in the United States. When the Secret Service finally arrested him, he was still calm, polite, and charming because he knew something that most people don't. Con men don't fear the law. They fear awareness. They fear victims who know the game. And that is exactly why this channel exists. To make sure you not the next easy target. If you found this story eye-opening, do yourself a favor, subscribe. Drop a comment telling us what scam you want exposed next, and share this video with someone who thinks they're too smart to be fooled. That overconfidence is exactly how these scams survive. And the best way to kill a scam is to talk about it.